Hi, Heidi here. I'm excited to be doing another DIY video today. This has been quite a long time in the making. I've had the dress for quite a few years now, and I'm just getting around to actually doing the DIY. I've got a few other clothing items that I'm dyeing at the same time, so I'll hopefully show you those as well. I've had this quite a long time now, and it is quite faded, which on its own I wouldn't mind too much. However, it's got a bit of discoloration going on. Can you see that? Yeah, a bit of discoloration going on in the armpits, so just re-dyeing to refresh the colour and hopefully cover those. Next one is one that I bought recently. You might recognise it from a haul video. So it's this dark grey vest with these awesome pockets, and it's asymmetric as well. But for the main event, we have this top, which when I bought it, it was a dress, and I have since made it into a top. I have already removed the buttons because I will be replacing those. They were a kind of white ridged shell type button, so I will of course be replacing those with black buttons. And I've also got a patch that I'm going to sew onto this as well, but we'll get to that. And the dress was a size 12 UK, and I haven't taken the top in. I'm leaving it as kind of oversized, and it is a bit cropped as well, so it'll be quite nice to have a bit of a looser fitting top. And all of these items are cotton, so they will dye just fine with what I have. And this, it does have a stain. Where is it? Yeah, it's got a stain just there, and the instructions do say that it may not cover stains. However, I'm hoping that it will at least make it blend in enough. I mean, I'm dyeing it to black, so it should be okay. And I have already restitched a few parts. I'm anticipating the original thread not dyeing, but we will see. It depends if it's synthetic or not. I will reassess once it has been dyed just to see what else I want to do. Oh, and I'll just insert what the dress looked like previously. So, as you can tell, it's actually very similar to the first dress that I showed you that I'm re-dyeing today. So I didn't want to keep it as a dress. However, I was looking for a kind of military inspired top that I could put that patch on. I'm using one of these dye pods that you put into the washing machine, and it's specifically for natural fabrics, so it wouldn't work if you used it for synthetic stuff. For this pack specifically, 600 grams of dry fabric will dye to the full shade. This lot weighed like 620-ish, so it should be a good colour. I will just put this lot in the washing machine and see what happens. Dyeing this top as well. I forgot to show you what's at the bottom of the bag. And this one is also 100% cotton. It's taken the colour really nicely, and although it hasn't done it for the stitching because that is a synthetic thread, I am going to make it all black. I'll probably just replace it. It's a fairly simple process to do, if a bit time consuming. But whilst I do think this looks quite interesting, it's just not really what I'm going for with this. And of course I'll need to sew some buttons on as well. And for this lower part here, it's only got 2 buttonholes, so I'm just going to use a hook and eye to close this lower part up. But yeah, I'm really glad that it took the dye very nicely. The fabric did have a bit of texture, so I was a little bit concerned that would show through, but that's been covered. Oh, and you can't see the stain at all as well, which is great. And the dress turned out really, really nicely. It's completely covered the discoloration, and the colour is much, much better. Much darker now. I've still got to replace the slightly purplish buttons, but that will be for another day. I ended up not putting any closures here, so it kind of opened a bit like this. And yeah, I really like that. And then I took it into the back just to kind of exaggerate this a bit. Yeah, I really love how it came out. And that's just the patch on there as well. is the All Saints top. This one dyed nicely too, although again the stitching is still the original colour. With the poppers, because they are a kind of brass colour, I'll just paint those over with black nail varnish, because I just would prefer them being black as well. So, I'm actually thinking with this one that I'll sew these bits together like this, just to bring it in a bit. And with this part being so high on this side, it just makes it a little bit less versatile, so I would prefer it if I can just wear the top by itself without worrying about needing to layer anything underneath. So I'll just, a few more alterations to do with this one, and then that will be done as well. Again with the vest, it was the same thing with the stitching being a slightly different colour, but because the original stitching of this is a grey colour, I really like how it works with that. This one I won't be doing anything extra with. I painted all of the brass metal with black nail varnish, so now it looks like this, and I absolutely love it. It looks amazing. I also replaced the grey thread on each of these sections with just black thread. I hand stitched that. As I undid it, I went down with just needle and thread, hand sewing it. So it ended up being fairly quick. I've left all the other stitching as is, but it's not really that noticeable.